Morphous is here. We're in Icicles Ease. Oh, I get it. Ha.
I'm glad we don't have to spell it out for you. Oh wait, we already.
You already did. All right, it's March 2nd, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games. Yeah. I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing. Oh.
Welcome to episode 416 of Mods on Air. We are people who enjoy playing games, making games, talking about games. That's all we do. There's no time for anything else.
It's all about the game.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, we're playing a game with you right now. This isn't about games. It's about games.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about the weekend news, try and confuse you a little bit, make up some stuff, and try and offend you. So if anything, anything in that list,
at the end of the show,
right? If anything in that list disturbs you, then go away. All right, so. Yes,
that's just your disclaimer gets pretty weak when it's just two of us.
Yes, well, it's a little more and a little less formal here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some stuff going on in the weekend news. And, oh, by the way, in 2 weeks, I may not be here because GDC is happening. I thought I'd throw out the mention that GDC is going on over in San Francisco. I'm leaving, the week of March 17th. So I will be taking off on March 13th, heading over there. And also what's going on in the same week in the same town within a few miles of each other, a Game Connection, which I will be reporting back and letting you know what is the worth of that, because I understand it's supposed to be a lot better. So I want to take a look at that. And the reason why it's a lot better, just so that I don't throw out these words and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, is it is supposed to be more one-on-one with these developers, with the publishers, with the people who can get things done. Head over to GDC. I've been there a few times, and what it is you just stand there and end up talking mostly to students who are walking by. You go there as a student, and you have the opportunity to file for not bankruptcy, but shortly that comes after the job that you file for over
shortly after you invest your life savings.
Yes. You get to talk to Valve, Epic, those kind of people to see if you can get a job with them. Usually you don't, because they rarely, from what I understand, rarely ever hire anybody. But you get to throw in your resume and talk to them and see what's
going on. Show off your profiles.
And feel like you've accomplished something.
Yeah, you get to schmooze with industry. Mm-hmm. And from the sound of it, this Game Connection, you actually
talk to the people.
Industry a little more personally.
Yes, it is the people in charge, not just the interns that they have working the booths. I have in the past, though, I should say, I have in the past gone over to GDC and talked to other developers, leaving my little booth area. I didn't get arrested or anything. And talked to other game developers who are looking for work to be done and gotten a few jobs out of it. So there is some value in it. You get to see what's going on in the industry. You get to talk to the people who are developing some of these indie games. And you get to throw your resume at somebody who later warms their hands with it. But
networking. Mm-hmm. It's really all it is. Both shows are just all networking.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's pretty good. And I'm thinking that the Game Connection is going to be a lot more value. Oh, we might have a Welshy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I guess you guilted him into it.
Yeah.
I said go back to bed because you're sick in the head. Mm-hmm. Look at him. I mean, look at him. He had to actually go and make himself look sick rather than the truth of the matter is he's just hungover. He's got the 26-ounce flu.
Nah.
Which ironically is 2 ounces more than his weight.
Well, now that there's more of us, I'll let everybody know I'm foyleman, and we have now with us Welshy and also with us Stryder. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
I didn't introduce anyone. I did a really, really lame opening.
Yeah, the disclaimer was, you can say whatever you want now because his disclaimer was wide open.
For interpretation and everything, yes.
Yeah, it's not protecting anybody.
Oh.
So.
I actually didn't start talking about any of the topics yet, so why don't I start up with that, and
Yeah.
I'll move some things around and start talking about Call of Duty first of all. Hey, what do you know? Look at the shirt I'm wearing. Okay. Um, Call
You
of Duty.
seriously own a Call of Duty shirt?
It was given to me at a conference. Of course I do. This might even be an Elite shirt. I'm not sure. Or Ghosts. I don't know which. Anyway, speaking of Call of Duty Elite, it's no more. That wonderful thing that they made you subscribe to and said it was only going to get better with age is dead.
Nothing
On the
ever
curb.
materialized out of it either. All of the services that they said you were paying for never materialized. I wonder if somebody in the UK that has subscribed to this is actually going to demand money back, because I thought by law, if you said it was going to do something and you paid money for it and it didn't do it, you could get your money back.
Yep.
So
Trade Description Act.
So look for a lot of money being paid from Activision back out to UK people anyways. This is what happens when people jump on this Call of Duty bandwagon. They're like, oh, it says Call of Duty, it's got to be good. Here's my wallet. And get, all they did was took your wallet and went, excellent.
Yeah, well, they want you to download the phone app instead now. That's what the replacement is. The phone app is a replacement of Elite.
And it'll give you the same services.
Yes.
Yeah, I just Call of Duty Elite is now a Call of Duty Ghost.
They also want you to head over to Call of Duty Clan Wars instead. Call of Duty Ghosts
themselves from this Elite thing.
Apparently, players can compete for cool, exclusive in-game gear. Hats.
Like a dog?
Dogs
Can I
with
get
hats.
a dog? A dog with a tattoo in his ear? I just don't get it. This ridiculousness was really pushed towards Xbox 360 players.
Yes,
and you're paying, you buy the game, you pay to play the game online with your Xbox Gold, you pay for your internet, and then you give them more money so that you can track stats that are actually on your computer anyways. You got access to maps.
You got an emblem next to your name somewhere.
Yeah, sucker. It's a big lollipop on a stick, sucker. And proudly display that one.
Awesome. Well, Battlefield is not doing all that much better. I thought this was hilarious. If you were, you couldn't wait for the Battlefield Second Assault DLC. Well, here it comes. Here comes all those maps. We talked about this a little bit last week. Here come all the maps that you've already played from other versions of Battlefield. But they kind of forgot that planes need to be able to take off on the runways. They're not just there for looks. They need to be a little longer. The runways weren't long enough for them to actually take off on.
Funny stuff.
Well, it's not like you paid for it. Oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole problem with this. You're paying for something that, again, doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you're paying for something that already existed. Why are you paying for it? Because you're a sucker. So I think, honestly, anybody that pays for this DLC and any DLC, anybody that pre-orders Call of Duty, things like that, should end up with a sucker emblem beside their name so that you know. But mind you, you'd have to be in the game as well. So that means you're a sucker. It's just like a whole big batch of lollipops.
If you watch the video, I just think it's hilarious. I love it. I know it takes a little while for it to get to you guys. Oh, boy.
Well, what was taken off on there before?
I don't know. They may have just been there for looks.
And what? Then they dropped a jet on them?
Well, this version of Battlefield has jets, so...
Oh, that's right. Well, what were they there for originally? I wonder.
Who knows? I don't remember.
You don't need a runway for a helicopter.
No, but sometimes maybe they would be there. I don't know. I don't know.
Because it's a cool place to park your tank. I don't really remember runways in any of the other games. Mind you, I don't remember jets either. So
I think that's it. I think that's the point.
If it's a used map and they just kind of dropped a runway in there, well, it's too long for up here. Well, just shorten the runway a bit. The play testers didn't catch it.
Oh, well.
Another thumbs up move.
That's because it was play tested in the last version. Why would they have to do it again?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get on to some serious stuff.
Serious stuff, like Gamemaker Studio?
Instead of, like Gamemaker Studio. Go ahead and make your own game. If you're tired of this shit of Call of Duty Elite and Battlefield shortened runways, make your own game.
Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't know, Gamemaker Studio allows you to make games for, I think it's really just for PC, maybe Mac, that kind of stuff. I don't think it works on mobile. I think there are some mobile plugins, but I don't remember anyone ever publishing anything on that.
I was going to say it's a very basic game making thing. However, it's free. It's basically $100 for free, and it's free up until the end of today. So if you're watching this live show,
unfortunately,
Morphus, your mission.
Oh, there's a very the very important thing that Stryder pointed out to me during the week is that you have to download it and install it and get your free key, otherwise it doesn't count.
Yeah, you don't have to install it all the way. You have to unpack it and make like you're going to install it, so that it'll pop up the get the key thing.
Okay, normally and you can get a pro version or something for $20. What was that for $20?
Yeah, you can upgrade to pro for 20, that's a $200 thing for $20 then.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, there are plenty of others out there that you could be working with instead. There's tutorials, online tutorials, videos, and stuff like that going with this. But yes, you could try your hand over with a free Unity, which later on does not become so free. UDK, which is pretty free until you start to get serious.
Mm-hmm. But anytime you have any company saying, "Hey, take a look at our thing for building a game," and it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with free.
If I had more time, I would download every single game engine and try and learn every single game engine if possible.
I thought you already knew every single game engine. What are we paying for?
I don't know the ins and outs of every single game engine. Like this one, I could fumble around in.
It really looks like it'd be a really good game engine for remaking Mario.
I knew Unreal 3 very well, right? Yeah, I think that's the one that was before. Now, the latest UDK stuff, not so good. I just wish I had more time. Okay.
It's a way to this engine actually is a way to make Windows 8 games as well. So it's a way to put more shit on Windows 8, I think, because so it is Windows 8 capable if you're one of those ones that jumped on the Windows 8 bandwagon.
I guess I should also clarify why I would learn every single one, because some of you might not know, I actually do work in game development and app development and stuff like that, and I know Unity extremely well because that's what everybody keeps asking for. A client comes in, I want this for iOS, build it on Unity, this and that.
No, it's because you keep saying, you know what, we can do all this on Unity because I know how to use it. That's
maybe. Maybe.
You sway their decisions, my friend.
But on the other hand, if I didn't use Unity, I'd end up having to build it twice, one for the browser, one for the iOS, 3 times for the Android. I'd rather use one engine and port it to all at once. So it's also a good business decision. There you go. You can make your own Angry Birds.
Make your own Angry Birds. Or what? Flappy Birds. Angry Flappy Birds. Saga.
I don't know.
Candy Angry Flappy Bird Saga.
Yes. Put that out. Go for it. See what happens. We'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to talk about Steam. I want to talk a little bit about Steam. And now Steam sales are now at the fingers of developers.
I don't necessarily think this is a good thing.
No. No, I don't either. The idea that game developers can now set up their own Steam sales. You won't necessarily have timed events anymore. I mean, it's already a kind of a mess where you just get overwhelmed a few
Every
times a
day
year.
something on sale. Yeah. What I see happening now, and unfortunately it's been trending for a while, is you get these new games that have been in development for eons. We'll take um, let's take Ricochet um,
Hmm.
and look at that game. Or actually any of these indie-esque games, they come out and they overvalue their game, and now they're going to be able to overvalue their game to put it on sale whenever they want. I just don't see this being a, a beneficial thing. You get a game that comes out and obviously a dev's going to want to make as much money as they can from it. So they're going to say, you know what, we're going to value our game at $30. And then all of a sudden you're going to have it'll be on sale for 50% off, then 75% off, then it'll be back to full price because people start buying it, and then it's going to be 10% off, and then it's going to be, it just, that fluctuation is going to create instability with Steam, where it's already been a pretty stable source for getting it at a consistent rate. There's surprise sales every now and then, but it's not like every day there's a blowout sale of this game or that game. And it's starting to edge more towards just a Walmart.
Hmm.
Well, and I can't even say Walmart, because at least Walmart's relatively stable at trying to be the lowest price all the time.
Right.
This is just going to be an auction. Steam is going to turn into an auction house of sorts where, I'm not buying this game until it drops, and you're going to get people, next thing you know, you're going to have like a red light sales and shit like that, where waiting for the price to go down and down and down and down and down, and then you can start buying it, and the price is slowly going to creep up. I just don't see it as a smart move. Not on Steam's part, anyways. Well, it's and Argosa, it's not even every weekend. You got daily sales, you've got weekly sales, you've got weekend sales. Now, if you also allow the game makers, the devs, the publishers to start popping their own prices in there, yeah, it's just
It'll end up like the phones, where you have all these other people trying to take over and do special things free of the day, and then it's so let's see who gets higher in the list, and it'll get messy.
Yeah. All to try and generate more money. I just don't.
For who? For the developer or for someone else?
And that's the thing. I think it's just for whoever is in control, which the dev, once that gets published, usually the dev has very little control left. It's all gone to the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the publisher trying to manipulate a market. And they're looking at things like Call of Duty Elite, like, hey, these people will pay money for fuck all, and we can make good money off it. And then all we have to do is give them something jingly and sparkly over here, so they forget that they gave us money for something that they're not even going to fucking look at, or that we don't have to follow through on. So it's what is going on there? Shit is moving around.
I'm moving it because it was supposed to be higher, and now I have to move it down because I want to keep talking about Steam and talk about Steam Family Sharing, which is now out of beta.
And see, I thought this was.
You thought it was already out of beta because.
Well, I thought it got crushed in beta because it was so full of security flaws.
I don't remember any actual security flaws coming to the news. I remember us talking about possible ones, but I don't remember anyone yelling about it. I mean, this is the one where you can authorize anyone, pretty much anyone, to play your game. You can't both play it. Right, that you're not playing. Thank you. That's what I want to also point out.
Which, for someone like myself or Welshy that has a extensive catalog, someone that opened up their wallets and their hearts to the Steam community over various buy our entire catalog sales, and my credit card was left smoldering, and I've got 300 odd titles that a lot of them I'm never even played, and I'll see, oh, somebody's playing this, I wonder if I should get it. It's like, oh, I already own it.
What happens if I get caught cheating a game that you lent to me?
I don't have friends that are cheaters.
Okay.
So friends that are cheaters are cheaters of friends. I don't know what the fuck that meant.
I don't know either.
I'm making shit up.
All right.
I still don't think it's that good of an idea.
I do. I think it's fine. You just have to control your own games.
But if I've got a game and I say, hey, you know what? And this is what I don't like. Well, see, I like the fact of sharing. Because in the old days, you could play a game, and if you were done with it, it's like, hey, Foil, here, take this game and you play it. I've played it all the way through that. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of reopening that. But at the same time, have they controlled the potential abuse? Mm-hmm. We've seen dysfunctional family on the Mods Online website, where one member of the family is a dictard.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you have to block the IP, and that blocks the other member of the family that's not a dictard.
Right.
It's interesting that and how do they control that? Like you said, what if I lend it to somebody and they're a dictard and they cheat? Am I going to get banned for cheating, or is it their Steam account? What's the difference between allowing someone to play the game and actually giving it to them, which costs you money to transfer the ownership of that game?
I think that they should ban the whole account. Who's to say that I didn't create a sub account, become friends with myself just for this purpose?
Only you would become friends with yourself.
I feel like he becomes friends with himself quite often.
No, that's breezy. Yeah, I see potential benefits. I also see a greater potential for abuse. Yeah. And I don't know whether Steam, in their less than infinite wisdom, has thought all the way to the end of that process. They may have. I'm definitely not going to be jumping all over this one, though.
Well, anyone can borrow my copy of Portal for Linux.
Yeah.
Because no one I know has Linux running.
Whoops. How did that happen twice? What the fuck? It's not copying this other link. Hang on. Delete.
So, yeah, Portal 2 is now available in beta on Linux. Yeah, so you have to opt in for the beta in order for this thing to work. There will probably be issues and boredom.
But you should set up a machine to run Linux just so you can play Portal 2 again.
That's the only reason I would need it. Yes, I have a few machines somewhere in Linux world. It's got its purposes.
Hey, Linux is going to make a resurgence now that Windows 8 seems to be the way that Microsoft is going.
And I wish that that could be true, but it can't. There's just no way for businesses to do that. Businesses can't survive on Linux. They don't know how. Take away their Outlook and they're dead in the water. Okay, here's a mod, or group of mods. No, I think it's a mod series.
It's just it's one. I think it's one mod in multiple lengths.
Before we start with the actual video, I want to say something first.
That's an interesting logo.
This video was meant to be a really fun video. I had a lot of jokes about the mod itself in mind, but as it turns out, I thought that especially such a kind of mod shouldn't be made fun about in the first place, to not be like a bad example for letting all the trolls and so on rage about such kind of stuff. So because of that, this will be a rather serious video, and you will find some more funny clips at the end of it. Hello everybody and be welcome to the Skyrim mod series, showing you here the schlongs of Skyrim mod.
Yes.
A little bit different, but I'm not sure if you can even say that, because actually Schlongs of Skyrim isn't the first kind of its mod, but with more features. And also there are of course also mods for females, which are kind of the same. You know, all the nude mods and the mods with physics for breasts. I won't use the mod because if I'm looking at genitals, that will be female ones, but I'm sure there are female players out there who want to give this mod a try. In Riverwood you will find the Morning Wood shop owned by Bjorn Longsword.
The Morning Wood shop?
You some potions and goods.
Owned by Longsword.
When installing, you have a couple of different options to choose from. First off is the body type, default and body builder, kind of self-explanatory. Also make sure you don't have any mod installed that changes the body of your male characters, so you can have a mod for the face.
Okay, so yes,
better males, for example.
This is a mod to turn to I guess undress every man in the game.
No, it gives you the... It's a penis mod.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yep. I skipped along the video.
Yeah, you should go near the end. That's where all the funny
where I
stuff
am.
is, I guess.
I'm
Oh,
talking...
it hasn't caught up yet.
No. No. It's not my kind of humor.
No.
Okay. So there's mods like that out there.
Somebody was really bored.
Moving on. Moving on. Okay, Sony has something that they're calling a fourth-person game.
Fourth-person game.
A fourth-person game.
It's where you watch a sim playing a third-person game. You see through the eyes of a sim.
You're playing a game inside of a game. No, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want that to get too loud, and it looks like it will be. Alright, turn it down. Okay, the name of the game is called Pavilion, if you haven't already noticed that. And, really, I don't know what they're trying to get at. Why this is a fourth person.
Is it because it's like far away?
I don't know how that makes it
on
fourth.
The PS4. I don't know.
I don't know.
The character is not your avatar and you're not in control of him. Instead, you have to find different ways, mostly to the environmental interaction.
Oh, so it is...
It's like playing Lemons.
That's what I was trying to think of. Lemons, yes. So it's like Lemons. All right. So you don't actually play the character that you're playing.
You play with the stuff around.
Just like the previous mod.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, a lot of interesting things to talk about. How about this one? Not that one. That one. Forma 8. It's supposed to be a Limbo-like game, which I really enjoyed Limbo. But this one... Yes, Peggy 7, thank you. This one is more of alien origin. The idea that aliens come down to the planet and send their little... wow. Send their little orbs to come and probe. I'm going to skip ahead to show you the actual gameplay.
Probe orbs.
I can't actually say whether or not this was made by the same people who did Limbo, but it's extremely Limbo-esque in the way it appears. The idea is that the alien. I don't know if it's supposed to be that the aliens come down to try and kill everyone. I think it's that they send these
Balls.
these little balls to explore and find life.
Alien balls are down here probing. So you know damn well they're in the southern states. Is this a cell phone game? Physics cell phone game or anything like that? Or
I don't think
like,
so. I thought this was just like Limbo. Limbo came out on various platforms. Yeah, this one's coming out for PS4, Vita, iOS, PC, Mac, Linux, Wii U, and eShop.
Yeah, so it's more of a little handheld game than.
Not on the Xbox. Xbox can suck it.
That's what they say right in there, right on the back of their game when you buy it. It comes out on all these games, but not Xbox.
I don't blame them.
Suck it.
Up until recently, Xbox makes you really pay to get out there, and the reason why I say until recently is because they're just now starting to open up options for you to publish your own game through Xbox, but it's not completely there yet.
Because they're trying to really get stuff onto the One.
Yeah. Now there's also this other bit of information that came across inside of a podcast. It was.
But if you found this, what were you doing watching other podcasts?
Cheating on us.
I do my research.
No kidding.
I do my research.
You're a podcast whore.
But down here, they mentioned that Crow Team is working on a new franchise, the first one since 2001, developing a VR, virtual reality adventure game with Endreams. I'm not going to necessarily. Well, actually, I can't say those two are related. I can only say that that's what this one person knows of. I don't know how they're related to Crow Team. So I'll just leave it at that. Crow Team is working on a new first-person, on their first new franchise, not first-person. I can't say that either. Yeah, don't know what it is. They are known for Serious Sam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Fun game, but that also gives you an idea of what kind of game they're probably making. Okay. Got another one. Good old U.S. government.
You thought it was very interesting, or else you wouldn't have brought it up. You wouldn't have been watching a different podcast. It up if you didn't think it was very interesting. I'm glad you stuck by your guns and put it in there and shared with us.
The truth. Hey, that's not supposed to be up there on the screen. That's supposed to be up there. Okay. So here is a new thing that's going on. It's a Tax Reform Act that's supposedly being presented for U.S. tax code that would prevent makers of violent video games from qualifying for research and development tax credit. So yes, you can do research and development for your video game and write it off because it's usually part of the cost. So go ahead and do that kind of thing. You have to go out and get the equipment, hire testers, or that kind of thing to find out whether or not your game is good. And it is an expense, and you should be able to write that off from the profits that you make. However, they're saying that won't be the case if you're making a violent game, which also opens up the question: what is violent?
Who decides if it's violent or not?
Who decides if it's violent?
Well, the government, of course.
So the government can decide that a game is violent, yet that same action in real life is non-violent because, hey, it's the U.S. military.
Yeah, somebody's sitting there with
wrong with the U.S. military.
Right, they're sitting there with a stamp saying, "Oh yeah, that's violent. Let's tax them. We need more tax." Oh, that's violent too, then.
That's what I was gonna say. It's just it's the cigarettes thing. It's just to make money.
Yes.
We should make a tax simulator game.
This can't work.
I think that is already a game.
No,
tax simulator.
We should not.
I think it might be.
That would only increase violence. This can't work. You can't go along and say some sort of entertainment, some sort of media is violent or is not violent. You can't judge the amount of violence that's in something because that's a matter of perspective.
Everything is violent. In all reality, everything is violent. If you're the second you simulate any type of action, even something as simple as brushing your hair or brushing someone's hair, like in a Barbie simulator game. I don't know. I haven't played those, the Barbie horse simulators. You'll have to, Welshy, give me some backup on this because I don't know.
Well, what you got to do is I don't know.
No, but any action can be deemed as violent by someone that wants to take offense to it. And
Yes.
unfortunately, there are people out there that will take offense to every single
Yes.
fucking thing you do because they have absolutely shallow lives, and that's the only way they can get their little rocks off. So you've got some old exactly. So you got a birth simulator. It's a violent video game. You have a surgeon simulator. That's a violent video game. You have a flight simulator. Well, I could crash, and that's a violent video game. You
Pac-Man's
have a
violent.
car racing game. Well, all of a sudden that's violent if you get into an accident. You know, the only game that you could say probably with almost 100% certainty that would be non-violent would be
Tetris.
Bubble Wrap Simulator.
What about Tetris?
Tetris is violent. Those blocks are hammering together when you set them down, spinning around uncontrollably and smashing into one another. And when you make a whole row and they all disappear, that's heart-wrenching for those blocks. That is so violent. They're removed violently from the bottom row. I mean, the point is you can make anything violent that you want to be violent.
Yeah. So they should also tax books that are written in with
Exactly.
violence and TV shows and movies and
radio and everything. But they won't. It'll just be video games. And
newspaper articles.
Mind you, I think it's not necessarily that they're taxing them. They are saying that you cannot claim R&D on this type of thing. But by the same token, you know, someone is still making that judgment call.
Anything that leads to the development of a game is research. And then development, research and development. Same thing when it comes to a book. I'm going to sit there and think of something, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Well, I'm going to tax that coffee because that was part of your research.
Exactly.
There is no end. So anything that leads to the development of violence is going to be taxed because that is research and development.
Oh my
R&D.
God, so Fox News is now going to be taxed. Fox News leads to so much violence.
Actually, they probably wouldn't be, only because of how many public officials are in their pocket.
I laughed a lot at that post you put up about Fox News, and
I forgot.
People are actually smarter and more informed if they listen to no news rather than let them.
Yes, there was an actual study by a university that says watching Fox News makes you less informed than watching.
Than if you had no news at all.
Yes.
That was best.
We've been saying this for years.
Any news agency that can self-appoint industry specialists loses all credibility. I mean, they appointed, or I don't know whether Fox News appointed Jack Thompson or Jack Thompson appointed himself the video game expert.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it all played out kind of the same. If you're self-appointing somebody as your expert, how are people not seeing that that's biased? But I guess I digress.
You do. Let's move on with video games. Let's talk about how Thief, actually a long-awaited game, is not really doing it.
Told you.
In the reviews.
Did I not call it?
You called it.
I saw a lot about this, of like mixed reviews where some people were, yeah, it's really good, and other people were, no. It's what happens when you hype something up. Duke Nukem, everything, think about it.
Yes, well.
Call of Duty 20 or whatever they're advertising now.
There's a lot.
Unfortunately, this is a game that I was thinking I might get because
Me too.
I want something to play.
Well, and it's Thief, right? I remember
Yeah.
playing the original one. And it's like it was really good.
But they put more effort into their PR scheme than they did into the game, is what I'm hearing and seeing.
Yeah, I'm thinking by what they're stating here, they must have had a really loose plan for development, like no real script, just like we're gonna go from this environment to that environment to that environment and figure it out along the way. Because they're saying how it just feels
linear.
Well, it's awfully linear, where they're closing doors behind you as you're walking through, just to make sure that you keep on the path.
Ugh.
So it's a free range on rails.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, what's different with that than with the Lara Croft one that just was out? And because that was very much on rails, very much.
Well, it was on rails, but you could stray because there were a whole bunch of different missions that you could perform.
Yeah. I still felt it very much on rails. I felt that if you followed the storyline, it was very much you have to press this at exactly the right time.
Sometimes, yes.
You know, and if
press
not,
this, like press the F key at just the right time. I mean, it was specific.
Press random key now.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it.
Yep.
Press a different random key now. Well, what the fuck? You just changed what random key it was. So, yeah.
On a side note, who walks around like this?
Like a zombie. Oh, ha ha ha! Oh, he stole his nunchucks.
What's interesting is the combat system looks exactly the same as Dishonored.
Yeah. Now, how did he turn into a shadow? Oh, when he steals things, he steals them fast. And then close that cupboard because you don't want people to know that you were in the cupboard. Yeah, I don't know. I still, part of me still kind of wants to buy this game. But then I know that a bigger part of me would be remorseful and angry that, the smaller part of me bought this game.
No. No replayability is what it looks like, right? Okay. So I said we would get back to it. The slight discussion that we started to have there for Candy Crush Saga. Yes, they I'm sorry.
3 in a row.
That's why
you have to pay them royalty.
That's why I did the pause. That's right. Oh well, they withdrew their Candy trademark, the trademark against Candy, so you're allowed to have Candy in the title. But watch out if you have the word Saga. No more sagas allowed. Yeah. I don't know.
I just don't get it. What confusion is there going to be? You have Candy Crush Saga, and you have I don't know, what's a slot machine saga? You have Fisher Saga. You have Saga Wars, Star Wars Saga. What is going to confuse any of those with Candy Crush Saga?
It's because it's a Facebook game, and people on Facebook can't really think for themselves.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Well, should I say people that play games on Facebook can't really think.
People on Facebook don't really play games. They're just...
That's all it is to them.
They're taking a break from posting YouTube comments.
Well, somebody went along and tries to discuss the what makes it addictive. It's basically what it is. There's a whole video here if you want to watch.
Mental retardation.
Is that what causes it? It goes along the idea of why you get sucked into playing any game.
got 93 million daily players and is installed on 500 million people's phones. You probably either play it and love it, or have played it, hated it, and still played it longer than you meant to. So what makes it so addictive? Let's talk about the Skinner box. The Skinner box is an experiment where some sort of animal in a small cage presses a lever and gets a treat, or an electric shock. Researchers can change how often a lever press results in a treat to do all kinds of things to the animal. So you could make it totally uninterested in the lever, or you could make it so the animal obsessively presses it all the time. And neither has to mean that the animal does not get shocked. You get where I'm going? Every time you win in a game, your brain gives you a little bit of dopamine, some good reward feelings. And by keeping you winning early on and then making it harder and harder, games trigger some very addictive tendencies. It also makes losing hurt. You want to go back to winning. Winning felt awesome. And free-to-play games like Candy Crush usually require some sort of currency, like lives or energy. You lose all your energy and whoops, you can't play the game at all for a few hours, unless you pay to do it. And this does two really nasty things to your win-seeking brain. If you don't pay for an extra turn, you are playing into something called hedonic adaptation. Psychology of Games wrote about an experiment appropriately enough.
Big words.
Candy. Subjects were given a piece of chocolate to eat.
I'm too sick for this kind of thinking right now.
Any more chocolate for 2
Well, I don't have to carry on really because you got the idea. There is some psychology behind the games, and I actually do believe that when they make games, they do this on purpose. These companies. I know some of the companies do it on purpose, and I think they did here as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, let's make a game. Oh, look, it's catchy. Lucky for us. Let's try and get it out there now. No.
No, and I would actually go as far to say this one was designed specifically for this purpose.
I think so.
And there's Fahey, I believe people already tried that and won. And it was something to do with Warcraft, I believe. Being a Warcraft addict, and they rather than getting money out of it, they ended up with addiction centers to put you into Warcraft rehab and that type of thing. So, yes,
there was a whole rehab center that came out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
There was actually a studies done on this for a long time, and yeah, I don't believe that any game industry actually has not manipulated their target audience in this way.
All right, moving on. What's Warner Brothers up to? Well, they're throwing money at the guy who made Minecraft.
This just is stupid.
And making a Minecraft movie. Now,
how the hell can you have a Minecraft movie?
Who knows?
I think it's going to be it's going to be like the Facebook movie, and it's going to be like the Steve Jobs movie. It'll be about this meatball that made Minecraft. But
I kind of like the way the guy replied to it. I mean, right here, someone saying, "Oh, they leaked. They're leaking the Minecraft movie, and the developer of the game. I forgot his name. That's not Marcus, right? That's somebody else. Anyway, I don't know.
No,
he came. Is it? Okay. He came along and says, "Hey, they asked me to do a movie. I'm not going to pass up on that." And he's right. It's not like he went out and sought them and said, "Let's make movies." No, they came to him and it's like, "Sure, okay." I'd be the same way. Like if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, let's write a book." I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah. Who can I get to tech edit it?
And he said, "Yeah, sure, okay."
Yeah. It'll be fun, they said.
Notch, yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to remember. So, yeah, you're right. It might end up being like Facebook or Jobs or something like that, which I still haven't seen Jobs, but I heard was horribly boring because they only touched upon things that everyone knows.
My hate for Minecraft has never stopped, let alone start again.
I don't have a hate for Minecraft. I just don't want to play it.
I seriously have a hate for it because it spawned a genre of 8-bit games that didn't need to happen, and everybody's buying into this hype and saying, "Oh, our game is the newest thing. It's so retro." You know what? Fuck off. Come up with something new. This is the 21st and a half century. We don't need to be looking at fucking blocks, Lego blocks, imaginary Lego blocks, because you can't have. I don't care if you get to grief babies. You get to grief 8-bit babies over their 8-bit swords.
Yeah.
it's stupid. It's a stupid movement. The whole, and now everybody's trying to emulate Minecraft because it was so successful because it was different and stupid, and people are buying into the fact, or buying into this hype that it's good because it's different when it's just stupid. It's like all the people that bought Macs. They're forced to say.
I'm forced to buy one. I can't help it.
They're forced to say things like that, like, "Oh, I had to buy it for work, and it's so good. I would recommend a Mac to everybody," just to try and get somebody else to walk in those stairs down to the Apple fucking back.
Oh,
an iPhone. And
I really do. I hate ever walking into the Apple store, which I've had to do twice. I just disgusts me.
I've been in one once, and it was horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Swarmed. You walk into the Apple store and you get swarmed by like 100 of these Appleonians or Appalachians or whatever the hell the employees there are called, little eye workers, and they're like, "Can I help you with this? Can I help you with that? You want to look at this? You want to touch this?"
Last year in San Francisco,
insane.
I had to walk in and get a charging cord because I needed one more charging cord for the conference. So I walk in.
You never have too many charging cords
No,
for an eye product.
No, and somebody walks up to me. "Hey, can I help you?" "Yeah, I need a charging cord for my iPad." "Oh, sure. Wait, here you go." He opens up his iPhone or something, taps a few things, and says, "Okay, wait right here," and then leaves. And then comes back and says, "Okay, how would you like to pay for that?" I hand him my credit card. I'm standing in the middle of the store. And he hands, "Okay, thank you." He hands it back. "Here's your card. That was $40-something. I'll email you the receipt. Bye."
Can I have the code first?
No, he handed me the cord. It was like very strange, and I could see how somebody could walk in there and fake it and just start taking credit cards.
Yeah, all you got to do is have one of those little blue Apple shirts or whatever. Mind you, I think they color code themselves by day, so you really have to do your research.
Okay, here's another one. I'm noticing that the Skype video is like suddenly seriously delayed.
Yeah.
Glitching. I got Twitch glitches.
I wonder if it's me. Okay.
I think you can get an ointment for that.
A Twitch glitch. Nice.
All right. Probably picked it up over at Facebook. If you're a gamer and you've seen the amazing kind of advertisements that you get over there as a gamer. If you like video games, and you're going to get naked or almost naked women trying to sell you games. Here's one that says, "For adults 21 and over, play for free. Big boys with big toys." Sure, why not? Or, "Warning, once you're inside, your friends won't be seeing much of you."
That's because you're inside.
The most addictive adult strategy game now on Facebook. Startegy. Actually, it's Startegy, not strategy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because that doesn't just scream of spam.
Sure. I'm confident it's going to be a good game with spelling like that.
The person that got these and is posting these ads, I wonder if they just like visited a gazillion creepy porn sites or something, and they got this machine that's full of like these ads. I don't have these ads. And I'm a gamer. Nope.
I've learned
on Facebook a lot, but
I've learned to completely ignore them
because I have ad block. Just install ad block, and then you don't see any ads whatsoever.
My brain has ad block.
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to ask. I don't want to fall into that trap to say. Okay, over on
saying these ads are targeted to a specific gender. I think that's what the implication is there.
Moving over on to what's going on with Xbox One and how their game broadcasting works. Why they're using the very same service as we're using.
Yeah, that's just gonna fucking suck the life out of an already horrible service. Now you're gonna have a whole bunch of fucking raging 12-year-olds
No, not for another 9 days.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on holidays. You'll miss it.
No, I'll be leaving 2 days after that, but yes. So that first big push weekend of Twitch, we won't be here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing.
And we'll never be seen again. Because you'll have to wade through the like sludge of.
And it's on Xbox One, so we're going to garner a whole new generation of people that hate our show. They'll be sitting there playing their Xbox One,
Yeah.
watching cable,
No.
and they'll snap Bing up to I can't say Google. They're going to Bing something, which just sounds so retarded. But they're going to Bing, game podcast. And
You give them way too much credit. You actually think they're going to search out something that doesn't involve them. They're there pushing their own videos. That's all they want to do is they want everyone to watch their video. They don't care about anyone else.
This is 12-year-olds, so our keywords. So I figured it out. We can garner a bigger audience.
Mhm.
They'll probably be shorter, but we can garner a larger audience. Or no, wait, that's discriminating them based.
Yeah,
on,
as I said, that implies we just want fat people to show up.
Yeah, we can reach a larger audience. No, see, that's just dirty too.
Yeah.
Essentially, all we have to do is just change the keywords that our show shows up as, because it's a bunch of 12-year-olds, so boobies.
Who's up for this challenge?
Front bump.
No.
Things like that.
Mhm.
No, it's Twitch is already overextended on what they can do. Now all of a sudden you're just going to have a billion little dicktards broadcasting the exact same thing, because there'll be like a billion dicktards all in one server. That's not going to happen because you can only have 6 people in a server with Xbox One.
Those keywords might work. Billion dick cards.
Billion dicktards.
Add that to the list.
Not that we talk about the Xbox One, we're going to be top of the list, especially if somebody is sitting there transcribing it. So you never know. Maybe these people on Xbox One coming soon to your living room. Mods on air.
You never
That
know.
sounds creepy.
I'm not buying an Xbox for this.
Did I buy an Xbox for this? But it's going to be interesting because now that you can broadcast on Twitch, that means they can watch on Twitch, which means the whole gig with Microsoft saying, "Hey, we're a family entertainment unit." All of a sudden, our show, we're going to have to post ratings. Twitch is going to have ratings because we drop the F-bomb every fucking now and then, and the second you say that word, you have to be R-rated. In the States, anyways. Up here, I think you can say it on CBC anytime you want.
This is a perfect example of what you're getting into. I'm now reading the Twitch comments in this beta stream. It says viewer chat. Okay, this is a racing game, by the way, car racing. Okay, it says, "Wow, this game looks hard. That's why it's so good. This dude should try using some items." No backseat gaming. Okay, he's getting close, and this game is really awesome when you dance while playing.
Yep. That's all it's gonna be. That's all Twitch is, really. I mean.
There you go. All right, solved. Next.
We're going to end up with a whole bunch of... We're going to have to keep on the ban button.
Billions of...
Dicktards.
Yes, there you go.
Dicktards, yep. You heard it here first. Dicktards.
That's the Twitch subtitle. Now serving 1 billion dicktards.
Billions of dicktards served.
Okay. Nintendo is going to be killing their online services for Wii and DS.
Which affects four
No one.
people.
No one at all, because no one's
The
playing.
four people
That's
that
the
are
problem.
actually using that. The interesting thing, though, is again going back to the UK with their laws. You kill this service, you effectively remove the multiplayer from games. What does that do to games that you purchased that had multiplayer that now you don't have multiplayer? Now Nintendo's got to pay a whole bunch of money.
Does Nintendo, or does the developer who said it had it?
But
yeah.
Nintendo's killing the service.
I know. Well, they have to.
box.
They have to sue Nintendo, not the game. All right. And one more. Titanfall Collector's Edition. Because because you wanted more Titanfall. $250.
This
Awesome.
game, I don't see this game being worth more than $20.
No.
Period.
I know.
How is it 250? What do you get? Do I get a Titan I can walk around in? That's a
no. That's worth $250 actually. You
Fucking
get,
right. I'd be all over that.
wow, that is a huge box.
That's
Does
what
it come
she
with
said.
an Xbox One? Yeah. Big unveiling. Okay, just pull the card off. Skip. See, I can
Comes
skip.
with an 18-inch tall.
Mm-hmm.
An 18-inch tall Titan.
Drop $100 off of that, maybe.
Drop another $100 off it and give it to me for free, and even then, no.
I gotta admit, I like the collectible things like that.
I do.
Seriously, $250? And it's probably plastic. Like it's some. If you, it's probably plastic covered in lead paint, made in China.
Do not drink out of it.
Do not lick it. Yeah.
Don't put it on your cat's head. I just this game embodies
You know what?
hype.
I'll just print my own. There you go.
But yeah, this entire game, this Titanfall, it's an embodiment of hype. We're not going to do a single player because that's too hard. We're going to do a multiplayer. We're going to make it so that it is so the instant gratification thing that
certificate of authenticity looks photocopied.
Well, it's because it is. They had to make 100 million of them. Very limited edition.
Yeah.
Get fucked it is. It's just I don't.
I get what you mean though. It's like this game is completely built around hype. Like it's almost as if that's its entire purpose is to sell copies, which I guess you could say about any game. But this one is specifically designed because we want you to buy it. We don't need to play it.
Oh, it lights up.
Because it needs to.
If it comes with batteries, I'm sold.
There's fucking seriously something wrong with you.
Jason
you
West
can take the guy and you can move the guy around.
started a new one, huh? I didn't hear that yet, that Jason West started his own studio. I'm not surprised. Of course he did.
Yeah.
No one can work with him, which is why he keeps running.
He's going to make a cell phone game.
All right, we have an hour in. I don't know if you
Why are
guys
they
want to talk
standing
about
around
old
clapping?
topics.
I don't get it.
Why what?
Why were they standing around clapping?
Because it was the big unveiling by the studio themselves.
Yay! Well done.
Yeah. Congratulations, you've successfully unpacked this box.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's the instant gratification that is required.
Yeah.
You've successfully unboxed it. Congratulations. Here you go. Here's a medal. Here's a trophy. Here's double XP for box unpacking.
If I like high five each other and start chanting like USA, USA.
Exactly.
You know, what we need is a clothing manufacturer to come up with the idea of every time you're able to actually get your pants off, you get a little emblem or something to put on your phone and say, "Look, I want something."
Unlocked pants removed.
Unlocked.
Yeah.
Pants
I know,
removed.
but that's
Yeah, I know. That's starting to sound like a IT Virgins app.
Facebook feeds everywhere would be the most disturbing. see your dad getting that achievement. No!
Yeah, achievement unlocked, MILF banger. No! No! My dad just got that one. That is horrible.
Ooh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Oh.
All right. Anything else you guys want to make fun of?
Well, Breezy's not here, so.
I got 2 images that I want to show people that I found along the way. First one, let's see. How does the first-person shooter work? Now, I like this picture that I found. Here, I'm going to zoom in. I know it's a little bit delayed. I'm sorry. We have the guy behind the camera, the Steadicam operator. Then on top of the camera, we have a little spoon and a jar of strawberry jam for when you shoot somebody to put jam on your screen.
When you get shot, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Wow. And then animatronic arms for switching of weapons that go underneath the camera that just flip right up and down. So that's how they make first-person shooters. And then I had another image in here called, oh yeah, that's right, Spot the PC Gamer. Here's somebody using a PS4 controller. Here's somebody using a PC keyboard. And here's somebody using an Xbox One controller. Which one is the PC gamer? All of them. Because we can use any device we want.
Ah, it's a trick question.
Yep. Okay. And do I have an ending? Yes, I actually have an ending.
Tests like that. That's trick questions.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Now you're gonna sue. Now you're gonna sue us.
Yeah. I thought I couldn't sue you because we didn't have any money.
You won't get
No, we don't have lawyers. You can't sue us if we don't have lawyers.
Oh. But money's okay, so send us big bags of money.
All right. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
Well, I've been playing World of Tanks just because I need something to play, and it's definitely not
fun,
edge of your seat action, but it's something to do.
Okay. What have I been? No, I can't tell you what I've been playing.
Ha!
I find myself at the store or something, perhaps sitting on a bench and looking for something to play on my phone. And I've been playing the Magic Piano, which is basically Rock Band. That's it. I haven't unlocked that song yet.
You haven't unlocked that yet?
That's actually in there.
Are you
serious? No, I'm serious. I haven't unlocked it yet. All right. That's it. Okay, so I guess I'll wrap things up. I want to thank our host for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you, Welshy, for making it in. Get back to bed. Looks like you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Yeah.
All right. Stryder, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's always an adventure.
It's almost not a show without you, because we wouldn't have anyone here.
I don't know what that means.
I don't want to know what that means.
All right, we'll be back next week to talk about all kinds of interests. Well, hopefully they're interesting. I will be back next week. It's the week after that I won't be here.
Ah, okay.
Indeed.
You've been forewarned, peoples.
That's right. So come on back next week, and in the meantime, maybe play some games, do some research, find out what's going on in life, and then play games. We'll see you next week. Send us money.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
And I do have an ending here. It's a little long, but I guess to some people it would be funny. Make it pay. Sorry for the volume if it's louder than I expected.
This is Foil on the piano.
Good job, Todd. Hi, I'm Jonathan Brackle from Comcast. We read your comments and complaints, and we know that a lot of you are very nervous about our merger with Time Warner Cable. So I wanted to talk to you today and let you know that no matter what happens, we don't give a fuck about you. Whether you're calling in for a service appointment for your cable box or wondering why your favorite channel disappeared, we don't give a fuck. That's what makes us an industry leader in terrible customer service.
Which is true.
We don't give a fuck because we don't have to. What? Are you gonna go to another cable service provider? Chances are we own whatever movie or network you're watching, so that's still money in our pocket. Of course, you could watch Netflix or Hulu. In fact, you should. We own Hulu. We also make Netflix pay us extra for streaming content.
They do. They
probably
just
pass those costs on to you.
They just announced that.
Fuck you! From the people who answer our phones to the people who write our TV shows, we do not give a fuck. And we collect labor violations and lawsuits the way fat kids collect cookies. Seriously, Google it. You don't call us the Walmart of telecom because we smell like rats and pizza. They call us that because we don't give a fuck about you. I know a big merger like this can be confusing, but all you really need to know is this is who we give a fuck about, and this is who we don't give a fuck about. And you. So thank you for choosing Comcast. You don't have a choice. Hey, America.
You don't.
Fuck yourselves.
Yep. That is a shame. Usually you don't end up with no choice. Specifically with internet. So if you wanted cable internet, you go with the only cable company that's available to you in the area, or you don't get cable. That's it. I have no choice.
This public service announcement brought to you by Foil. Hating Comcast since 1984.
I have a different company, but they're all pretty much the same. I have Cablevision, which is Optimum,
which is owned by Comcast,
which I love very much, and hope they succeed forever so that I can keep getting my service and they don't shut me off.